story begins with David. As a boy, David helped his family by watching over the sheep in the fields. In the fields, it was quiet and peaceful. And David was able to talk to God while he was all alone. And he also sang to God. God knew David, not just because David talked to him. He knew David before David was born. He knew David in the fields as he watched the sheep. And God knew that one day David would be a king. Now, God sent Samuel to the home of Jesse, who was David's father. You see, God told Samuel that he needed to go to the house of Jesse, and there he would find a king. Now, when Samuel got there, Jesse brought out 6 of his sons to meet Samuel. But none of them were the one. So Samuel asked, do you have any more sons? And Jesse said, well, I have one more son, David, but he's out in the fields watching the sheep. He's the youngest. And Samuel asked Jesse to send for him. As soon as Samuel saw David, he knew he was the one. So Samuel took some oil and poured it over David's head and named him king. The funny thing was, the confusing thing was that there already was a king, King Saul. But you see, Saul had changed. Evil spirits were tormenting him, and he was not doing well. Now, David would not rule until Saul died. And Saul grew worse. And someone suggested that music might make Saul feel better. And so they sent for David. And David played his harp for Saul to soothe him. Some of David's many songs and poems you can find in the Bible, in the book of Psalms. David and many others wrote the Psalms when they were scared or worried. Others were written when they were happy and wanted to praise God. One song that David wrote, Psalm 139, was written to remind us that God knows all about us. He knew all about David. Let's listen to Psalm 139. O Lord, you know all the secrets of my heart. You know when I sit down and when I stand up. You know everything I'm thinking. Before I open my mouth to speak, You know every word I will say. You are the one who formed me inside my mother's womb. I praise you for the wonderful and mysterious way that you made me, and for all the glorious works. Before I was born, you knew all about my life. I cannot begin to understand your thoughts. Like grains of the sand, they cannot be counted. Whenever I wake up, you are still there. You are always with me. Uncover the secrets of my heart, O God, and bring all my fears into the light. Make sure I'm not on the way to ruin, but guide me on the road to eternity. I wonder what part of this story is your favorite part. I wonder what part is most important. I wonder what part is about you. I wonder how we can share our feelings with God. I wonder how God knows all about us. I wonder.